What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. The eye is nearly fully healed now, just a little bit like the redness has gone, the soreness has gone, it's just the healing process that is left. On the screen right now guys, you're seeing some of the new SBCs be completed. Of course, for most of them I didn't have to buy anything, I was able to use the bronze pack, and we're going to talk today a lot about bronze packs, investments, and so on and so forth. But I've got those from questions, but I think it's a really important topic for, you know, preparing for the future of FIFA 17 and what's left within FIFA 17. But first of all, I want to talk about the upgrades and downgrades, or as FIFA have called them, the ratings refresh. I think that's their way of getting around saying to someone, you've been bad this season, you got downgraded. What they're basically saying is, we screwed up on some of the stats, we're refreshing the card, and you're getting, you know, a new card. So, several players have been downgraded. You know, Huth, Morgan, John Terry. There have been quite a few downgrades, but EA are releasing the upgrades and downgrades in batches. They're doing one league each day for 2 days. So EPL was today and yesterday. I believe Calcio A is tomorrow and the day after. Then it'll be Bundesliga. Then it'll be La Liga, and it'll be the French league. So the main 5 leagues will come there. And I assume they'll do like the rest of the world all at once, like if there are any there. But their piece of information did indeed say that there are 400 or so players that have had their ratings refreshed. So it's not like a complete overhaul of the game, but there is a lot that's gone on. So to answer the most common questions, first of all, why didn't your card get upgraded? Well, if you have the base gold version of a card, so if, for example, you had the 81 Kante and he got upgraded to an 83, your card does not get upgraded. You know, it's just a brand new card that's in the game. I assume they do that to cause people to try and open more packs. But in general, your base gold cards do not get upgraded. I was surprised with the amount of SBC cards they upgraded. I thought they would upgrade the Player of the Month cards because, as explained before, they were performance-based cards. I was very surprised that they also upgraded the just the regular SBC cards, like the SBC Bellerin got upgraded, the SBC Defoe got upgraded, Hazard got upgraded, Costa got upgraded, Heung-min Son got upgraded, Dele Alli got upgraded. So a lot of upgrades throughout. But why did certain SBC and Inform cards get upgraded and some didn't? Most notably Harry Kane and Christian Eriksen and Romelu Lukaku. I think Romelu Lukaku didn't even get upgraded full stop, which is just erroneous. It's horrendous, definitely. But in terms of Kane and Eriksen, why did their base card get upgraded but not their informs, when other cards, base cards, got upgraded to a section before their inform, yet their informs did get upgraded? The simple answer to that is to do with in-game stats. The way it works, like let's say you have an 84 Harry Kane that gets upgraded to an 85 Harry Kane, and then he has an 86 inform. If the 84 becomes the 85, and the 85 does not have a single in-game stat that is better than the 86 inform, it won't upgrade it. However, if it had even one in-game stat that was even 1 point better than his inform, it would have triggered upgrades for the informs all the way up. So for example, if the 84 Harry Kane has 79 sprint speed, and the 86 Harry Kane had 81 sprint speed, it then marks down what did the 85 get. Did the 85 get 80 sprint speed, in which case it wouldn't have triggered an upgrade. If it got 81 sprint speed, it would have triggered an upgrade. Which is why, guys, some of the informs didn't get upgraded and some of them did get upgraded. And let me tell you, there were a few upgrades that were huge. Dele Alli's upgrade was very good. Mane's upgrade was utterly ridiculous. Like, they gave him like 8 physical and 5 shoot. Oh man, it's just 99 pace, 91 dribbling, 87 shooting, 86 passing, 86 physical. The card is just unbelievable. But to put to bed the problems that you might be having with why not mine, why that, why this, is simply because the way in-game stats work. The in-game attributes had to have triggered the upgrade. So for some of the cards, they did trigger the upgrade, and for some of the cards, they didn't trigger the upgrade. The team that I'm using that you would have seen on screen by now, guys, as well, I went for my upgrade squad, basically. I've got now upgraded Hazard, upgraded Sané, Ibrahimovic, upgraded the red Firmino, who also had a huge upgrade. His card looks ridiculous now. Upgraded Dele Alli, upgraded Diego Costa, upgraded Hector Bellerin at right back. I was also surprised that they didn't upgrade Alonso and Coleman. They both had fantastic seasons. Then I've got Reed, Smalling, Alonso, and De Gea in net. Now, I've been playing with Neymar and Suarez up until this point, up until these upgrades came out. Why did I stop playing with Neymar and Suarez? The reason why I stopped playing with Neymar and Suarez is because that trio that I've got up top right now is just too deadly. You know, I've played a lot with that 94 Suarez. He's not as good as that Ibrahimovic. That Ibrahimovic, for me, is the best striker I've used this year. Maybe 98 Suarez is up there as well, but this 92 Ibra is just disgraceful. He's so good, it's ridiculous. And he now has a 93 card as well, and it's likely he'll get a Team of the Season card. So we could be seeing a 97 or a 98 rated Ibrahimovic at some point this year. As soon as that Team of the Season card comes out, this card here probably goes to bed, probably goes bye-byes. But never mind, you know, I've had a lot of fun with this card. I've scored a lot of goals. He's won me a lot of games near single-handedly. This game here, both goals for him. This guy here, Young Mickey, I've played him before. I know I've played him before. He messaged me afterwards saying, good game. I asked him, have we played before? And he said, yeah. And I said, you usually beat me, right? He says, yeah. He says, you've improved a lot. And that was good for me to know that all the work that I put in this week has actually paid off. And we're starting to grind out some wins, which is fantastic. But I've built this team now. I got rid of Suarez and Neymar, not because I'm not enjoying them. I was actually quite enjoying using different players, but just because these upgrades, it's basically like putting new cards into my club. You know, also Heung-min Son got an upgrade. The red Dele Alli that I've got an upgrade. The Marcus Rashford, I'll be interested to try him out again because he's also got an upgrade. And I'm basically just interested to test out those dudes. Now, one thing I want to mention to you guys, be wary with the players that you're playing because of the upgrades. There is a thread on Reddit that is from Connect Charger. Credit to him for the thread. He says, when you pay 45 to 50k premium for an 83 Kante, this is what you're getting compared to the 81 Kante. No change in pace, no change in shooting. In the passing category, he's got one more vision, one more short passing, and one more long passing. In the dribbling category, he's got one more balance, one more reactions, and one more ball control. In the defending category, he's got one more interceptions, one slide tackle, one stand tackle. And in physical category, he's got one stamina and one aggression. So even though he's gone from an 81 to an 83, and let me have a look at his actual cards, face card stats. He's gone, yeah, from an 81, guys, to an 83. He has gained on the face cards one dribbling, one defending, one physical, and one passing. But he's actually only gained 11 total in-game attributes. That is not even worth it. I don't know how that warrants an 81 to an 83 when you are talking about 11 total in-game stats. That is an increase of about 0.25%. If my math is correct, he's got like 2,074 on his base card. He's got 2,085 on his new base card. That upgrade is not worth the 50,000 coins. So be careful when you're, when you're basically getting these cards. Now, Roberto Firmino, I wonder if I can compare him to what he had before. I don't know what he had before, but his upgrade has been remarkable. He's gone from an 84 to an 85, but he got a big upgrade. Was really happy with that. Was really happy with what I saw, and the fact that I've got so many players in my club that have got upgraded was exciting for me. But bear in mind, for you guys with your Higuains, potentially with your Dybalas, with your Salah, with your Dries Mertens, Calcio A will probably be tomorrow. So we'll be able to get that as well. You'll get some upgrades on those ones too. So guys, in this game here that you see on screen, we went 2-0 down and 3-1 down. I managed to grind out a win and come back and win in the 90th minute. As I said to you guys recently, I've been playing the best FIFA I've been playing for a long time. I've been really happy with how I've been playing. We've got 2 losses on the account so far for this weekend league as we go back into some more SBCs. 2 losses on the account so far this weekend league, and both of them were avoidable. I just, bad decision making cost me ultimately, where just didn't choose the right shot at the right time or panic defended here or there. But in general, I feel like I'm winning more games that I was losing last weekend league. Like that game that I just won there, you know, at 2-0 down and at 3-1 down last weekend and the weekend before, I would have lost my cool. I would have started getting angry. I would have got, you know, played different. I would have started rushing. But I kept playing like it was 0-0. I kept playing just, you know, just want that one goal. Just want that one goal. And I fought and I fought and I fought. I got back into the game. I kept my cool and ended up turning it around and winning it. And that's not the first time that sort of thing happens this weekend league. I was very happy with my performance so far. After today's games, which you're about to see, we're 17 wins and 3 losses. Now, bearing in mind, last weekend I only got 26 wins altogether, and the weekend before I only got 27 wins altogether. I only have to win 9 of my last 20 games to get as many wins as last weekend. If I can't do that, I will probably just quit playing FIFA. You know, I've proven time and time again that Elite is where I should be. I had a couple of bad weekends. I feel like I'm back on, you know, I feel like I'm back on terms. I feel like I'm back playing good FIFA. And now that we got 17 and 3 for the first set of 20 games, if I can get the same 17 and 3 in the second set of 20 games, I'll finish 34 wins. Elite 1 would be absolutely brilliant. However, my aim is just to get up to 29 wins. 12 wins, 8 losses in the next 20 is where I want to go for. I just want to get back into Elite, just to know that I can get back into Elite and that all those weeks weren't just fluke, you know. I just want to know, as we get a walkout, by the way, walkout Cesc Fabregas, I just want to know that Elite is where I belong. Yeah, but this walkout, it was Cesc Fabregas. I was very disappointed. I thought, yes, big walkout, big walkout. It was Spanish. I was thinking De Gea would be very nice here. It wasn't De Gea, it was Cesc Fabregas. But there you go. So yeah, I'm happy with how I'm playing right now. I don't know if I'm going to play much today. You're watching this video on Saturday night. I'm recording it Saturday afternoon. I might be playing on my other account for today because I always seem to buckle on Saturdays. So I might play 1 or 2 games and see how it feels, see how it goes. If I'm picking up just even 2 wins to a loss, 2 wins to a loss is enough to get me into Elite. So if I'm going 2 wins to a loss for the last 20 games, that'll pick me up like 13, 14 games. 13, 14 wins, sorry, no problem. That'll get me 30, 31 wins, no worries. If I can get 3 wins to a loss over the last few games, that will give me like 15 more wins, which will get me to 32 wins, which obviously would pick me up, you know, 32 wins would be Elite 2, would be perfect. And of course, if I can get the 17 wins needed to get to Elite 1, that would be absolutely ideal. However, comments, guys, comments. Ayo the Irishman says, can you talk about your rap career? Well, I didn't really have a rap career per se. Back when I was 18, 19, I was pursuing music with a friend of mine, a couple of friends actually. We were, you know, we'd make beats, we'd you know, spit bars, we'd write music essentially. I was heavy into the rap and grime scene. Used to get into a lot of dubstep and stuff, and I used to go to a lot of like open mic nights. Not that I would perform or anything. I did a couple of bits here and there at this place in Carnaby Street in London called Deal Real, where I was spit some bars with some people. And basically, it got to a point where I was on the forefront of breaking into the underground rap scene in the UK. You know, I was battling for a lot of years back on a few websites. I used to battle a lot. A lot of the dudes that I used to battle with now are actually you know, in the UK rap scene. So I was there. I had my foot in the door of the rap scene, and in hindsight, it was the right decision not to pursue that, because the UK rap scene, if you're not like some of the big, if you're not JME, Skepta, you know, Stormzy, if you're not those guys, you're not anyone, right? Like there's a very limited space for people in UK rap and UK grime and such. And the cold hard truth is that regardless of talent, you probably didn't make it. So I was like in a mix of rap or music in general, not just rap, but music in general and gaming. And I decided to pursue gaming instead of music, and that turned out for me to be the best decision I made, because here I am. But basically, I wouldn't call it a career. I've got a few tracks on YouTube. If you go to my main YouTube channel, you can find them there. They're like some of my oldest videos, so just select the section from YouTube for oldest to newest, and you'll see them right there. I did enjoy it, and I do enjoy it. I love music. Like, who doesn't love music, right? But I love music. I would love to be able to get into the music scene again. You know, if anyone's proof that anyone can do it, KSI is there, man. Like, he went from just some shy boy on the internet to being KSI. You know, 15 million subs. hit singles, hit albums, a #1 best-selling book, a movie. Like, what hasn't he done? You know what I mean? What hasn't he done? So there's potential there for it to still happen, but I think gaming is my true calling. One thing that I'd be really interested to do actually going forwards, whether it be in my life right now or down the future, is I would love to do voice acting for cartoons, movies, things like that. I would love, or just for like TV commercials and stuff like that. I would love to do voice acting. I don't know if I've got the voice for it. But over the next few months, I'm going to get my my management team to start putting the feelers out to see if there's something there, because I think voice acting would be absolutely brilliant. But whether or not the prospective employers would agree is neither here nor there. But that is my rap career in a nutshell. There was no career. It was just a brief foray into the UK rap scene. A lot of battles that I used to do back in the day, but other than that, there was no career there, unfortunately. Thomas Draghi says, "Hey Nep, just interested to know, where did the name NepentheZ come from?" And this goes hand in hand with that previous question. When I used to battle on websites, you needed a name to sign up to the website with, and people had aliases, right? Because who uses their real name to battle? It just didn't make sense. So I used to have Scorpio King as my battle name, because that was my very, very first Hotmail address, because I am a Scorpio. It was called Scorpio King or Scorpio King, one of the two. I can't remember, it was so many years ago. But yeah, because my birthday was, I'm a Scorpio basically. As my star sign, Hotmail just generated that as a like a default email address, and it's not in use anymore either. So for those of you that think that you got my email address now, it doesn't exist, unfortunately. But that was like my rap name for the first like 6 months of my rap battle career, and it was just so easy to take, like to use against me as a name that for wordplay, for metaphors, for similes. It was everything anyone needed to just destroy me in battle. So I needed a new name. At the time when I was looking for names, I was looking for something that looked good. Didn't have to mean anything. Didn't have to sound right. I was looking at like Apollo, because obviously Apollo is a god of music. Like, I was looking at like a lot of different things, and I nearly picked a lot of different names. You could be like, right now I could be sitting there saying, "What's up, guys? Apollo here." Would I have been as successful? Probably not. I literally went onto Google. And I typed into Google weird science names, because I wanted to find something that was unusual, that was interesting, and that was unique. You know, something unique was important to me. So I typed in weird science names, and there's this website, and I clicked on a website, and I started clicking through the different letters, looking at all the different names, and I saw NepentheZ, and it had an S, not a Z, and I clicked on it. It looked interesting as a name to me. Like, it sounds interesting, it looks interesting. So I picked that as I clicked on it, and I looked at NepentheZ, and I took that as a name. And when I read what it's a plant that like is used to like numb feelings and stuff. And I thought that has like metaphoric value in music and in the battle scene, because I will numb the feelings of my opponents. Do you know what I mean? Like, it has metaphoric value in that sense. So I thought, not only does his name look pretty cool, not only is it super unique, it will be very hard to rhyme. And it'll be very hard to use against me, because of the fact that it has, qualities that people don't know about. But also, it does have like huge metaphoric value for me in the music industry. And so that just started becoming my alias on websites. I didn't mean for it to become a thing. I literally had it just for that website for then. And the cool thing to do at the time was to change an S to a capital Z. Again, just to give a little edge to the name. I was 18 years old, do you know what I mean? I wasn't thinking straight. I didn't know what I was doing. It's pretty cringy, but that's how it is. So over time, the next website that I signed up to, instead of using any old alias or pseudonym, I would just use NepentheZ. I just started using NepentheZ on the SI Games forums for Football Manager. I used NepentheZ on anything that I signed up for, essentially. Reddit, I use NepentheZ for. Twitter, I use NepentheZ, and I started using NepentheZ for everything. That even on YouTube, I use NepentheZ. And when I started YouTube, that was in 2006, so we're going back 11 years. Again, I was only like 20 or 21 years old, and the reason why I created a YouTube account wasn't to upload videos, it was to subscribe to the people that I used to watch. Back when YouTube only started, it was invented in 2006, and I created my account in 2006 so that I could follow the musicians, interestingly enough, that I used to watch. Because again, back then I was heavily into music, not into gaming, so I used to come to YouTube to watch people play guitar, to find people that are good singers, good rappers, just anything all-encompassing music. That is what I came onto YouTube for. So I created my account to subscribe to people like that, and I used the pseudonym NepentheZ, not because I thought it would turn into a YouTube career. So when I started making my first videos, I just became known as NepentheZ in the internet world. I didn't like sit there and make out like I was trying to be someone else or anything like that. I wasn't hiding my real name. Like people think that I hide my real name. It's not. I don't hide it. It's just that I don't use it, because most of my core group of friends and acquaintances know me as NepentheZ, not as who I am. It's to the point where even the people that used to work for me in my pub industry, a lot of those people worked for me because of who I am on the internet. I got several staff from the area that I used to live in used to come and work for me because they knew who I was through either the EA forums way back in 2005, the SI Games forums for Football Manager, or through Twitter and things like that. I met a lot of people through that, and I've met a lot of my best friends through the internet. It's a weird thing, and it was a specifically weird thing back then, because your traditional way to meet people is through schools or clubs or classes, or through friends of friends and in bars and clubs. That's a traditional way to meet people. But when you meet someone on the internet, because you're able to use and dismiss people on a whim, you can tell instantly if you've got a connection with someone. So when you talk to someone on a website, if you just don't like them or don't feel like you have a connection with them, you can just eliminate them from your lives. And because there's no interaction, no real face-to-face interaction, it's super easy to detach yourself from that emotional investment. However, when you find someone that you do have a connection with, male or female, I know a lot of guys look for girlfriends and a lot of girls look for boyfriends, or just find girlfriends and boyfriends through the internet. But when you find that connection with someone, whether it be, emotional or just friendship levels or whatever, you know that it's real because they don't know you other than that. Do you know what I mean? So, like, through the internet, through the rap forums, I met definitely some of my best friends in life. Through the internet, through YouTube, I've met some of my best friends in life. And through social media in general, I've just met so many incredible people, and people that I genuinely consider real friends. And all that stems from me being NepentheZ, which stems from me just needing a unique, funky name for a rap site. So that's where it came from, and that's why it's there. Now, I've rambled on again for far, far too long, which means I'm not going to be able to talk about investments and stuff for today, because I think it's an important subject. So we'll touch on that tomorrow's episode. But for the rest of today's episodes, Matt Brown says, would you like handballs in online FIFA? Absolutely not. Handballs are not something that I can control or that you can control. So if the game puts in something that is entirely AI controlled, it again just adds an element of no skill needed. Imagine you playing a game and you're absolutely dicking someone, then all of a sudden he gets in your box and a handball is called, and now you're going to lose the game because your pixels on the screen theoretically did or didn't handle a ball. You'd be livid, right? Like, there's already enough nonsense in this game to the point where you don't need more AI interference to screw this game up for you. And on that note, there was a couple of times this weekend league where I've had a player injured, and they're laying on the floor, and they're influencing play just by being injured, laying on the floor. Like, I had one instance where I had a defender injured, and he was playing the dude's whole team on side. That needs to not be in the game. EA need to remove the animations like that. If my player gets hurt, I don't care. I don't want him to be laying on the floor. This is a video game. This isn't real life. The game should not be influenced by whether or not a dude is laying on the floor because he's been fake injured or not. It shouldn't be there. EA definitely need to remove that. And they need to remove, like, the complaining. Like, sometimes when a player, like, misses a shot, he'll complain, or when you get a free kick, he'll turn around and start waving his arms to the referee and complaining and stuff. In all the meanwhile, your opponent played on and he's standing right next to the ball. In real life, that wouldn't happen. They'd be like, oh crap, he's playing on, let's try and get the ball. They just got to remove those little contextual idiocies out of the game because it impacts things so minimally. But there are instances where I score and where I concede because of the AI just doing something that just should not be in the game. So to answer the original question, no, I don't want handballs in FIFA. Kabuta Plop says, please change Dele Alli to a centre mid and Fernandinho to a centre mid. No, they already get 10 chemistry. It would be a waste of a consumable to change those. And you never know, if I switch to a 4-1-2-1-2, might be worthy having them as CDMs or cams because they could be useful to me. Kalam Nahor says, hey Nep, I don't see the point in downgrades. Surely they won't make a difference to anyone's teams as everyone will just stick to the original high-rated card. Love to hear your thoughts and keep up the good work. I don't disagree. Just to correct you though, because this will be EA's point, they weren't downgraded. Their ratings were refreshed. It was not a downgrade. It was a ratings refresh. But yeah, it's pointless. It's utterly, utterly pointless. Why are you giving us a downgraded John Terry? First of all, no one even uses John Terry. But second of all, if somebody's got an 82 John Terry and there's an 84 John Terry on the market, they're not just going to be like, oh yeah, let's use the 82 John Terry. It's pointless. I don't understand it. It is pointless. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it for the comments today because that indeed is it for the gameplay today. 17-3 after 20 games. If I have another collapse this week like I have done in the last 2 weeks, I should still be able to get elite because we've had a really strong first 20 games. This is the strongest first 20 games we've had in about 5 weeks. So I'm really happy with that. This is the team that we're using on the screen now. I love this team. I know the midfield looks very attacking. We've got high, medium on all 3 players. They've all got really good qualities about them though, which is why I like them. They're all really, really tall, really physical players. And although there's no defensive-minded midfielder, what I love about this midfield is it's just very overpowering. They all have really good physical attributes. It genuinely seems to overpower my opponent's midfields, which I really like. But anyway, guys, this is going to be the end of the video. If you did enjoy this, be sure to leave a like, rating, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But for now, guys, I'm out. Peace.